Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 5, Episode 171. It is Friday morning, and just finished up my team meeting and had a couple hours of sleep, feeling better, although my head feels like it's 10 feet around. Um, I'm still very sore, very tired, but I do feel better. Today's going to be our fight day. Today's going to be our comeback day, our no BS day, and I'm going to get myself out there. Um, Anytime that we're not doing what we came here for, we're going to be trying to hit the blackjack tables and do whatever we can do to make money. Um, I I'm not going to have any excuses. This trip's been lukewarm. We've made money. We've worked hard, but overall, it's not where I wanted it to be. I feel like the development is there now, and I am understanding a lot of these new concepts, and everything's going in a positive direction. But at the same time, you need to balance it out. You have to make money to survive. So you can't just be learning in a vacuum. You have to have learning and producing. So um, today's going to be that day. Like I said, I already had my team meeting, and gonna. I actually I hopped out of bed and cleaned myself up a little bit and put a shirt on because I'm gonna be because I was on camera and did the team meeting, but I was barely keeping my eyes open. Right now, we're gonna go ahead, get our shower, and get out the door and start making money. So hopefully today's the day that everything falls together. And I know that the last couple trips that I've made out here have all been changing dramatically. I was telling my friend yesterday, I used to come out here and I used to take the same route all the time. The Wynn to the Palazzo to the Venetian, go across the street to the Mirage, sometimes Treasure Island, then Mirage, and then to Caesars, and then Planet Hollywood, Paris, sometimes throw Bellagio in there, and then go back. And I would do that 3 times a day. So I'd take that walk out and then back 3 times a day, hit the blackjack tables, hit the slots, and make money. And I would average somewhere between 3,500 or so per day, and every trip was good. I had a couple shaky ones, but overall was doing really well. And it's been a lot harder now because 6 to 5 games. I'm finding $100 6 to 5 games now. Finding 6 to 5 double deck games now. All kinds of bad stuff. So one other thing I wanted to mention: a couple of days ago, I walked through the Bellagio and actually had a session there. And I think it's a good idea to play there more often, and we probably will, just because they're more tolerant, and you can cash out more chips without ID and stuff like that. But there's a dealer there, and his name is Dung, Dung, the Asian guy. Now, I understand, he's probably in his 50s, okay? So it's not like his parents named him yesterday. But no matter what your name is in your native language, don't you think maybe with a name like Dung, you might want to use, like, I don't know, maybe a nickname, like, instead of Dung Chan, his name should be like Lucky Chan. And then everyone would be, hey, Lucky, I want to go play at Lucky's table. No, I want to go play some dung blackjack. Whatever. Anyway, all right, we're getting moving. Enough talking. I'll be back. All right, guys, just getting ready to leave the room here. Just getting everything ready to go. you know, it's been crazy. Learned a lot, done a lot, seen a lot, went to a lot of places, and one thing I have to say that I learned on this trip that's a major thing. What did you learn this week, MW? I think I learned that I've been giving these casinos too much credit, giving them too much credit for being too smart and knowing a lot and doing a lot and understanding a lot, and they really don't. I mean, they have some tools at their disposal. They may have facial recognition. They may be tied into a database somewhere, but any monkey can do that. You don't have to be intelligent to push a button or to have an alert pop up on your screen and then freak out and throw someone out. So, as far as them doing an investigation and really understanding what's going on and seeing what's going on, I think I gave them way too much credit. And I've really seen it on this trip where my friend said, okay, we're going to do this and this. And I said, no way, that's not going to work. They're going to see right through that. And you know what? We sat down, we played, we did this, we did that. Nobody questioned a thing. They came over, they talked to us. He pulled a stunt yesterday where we were at a place doing something, and he walked up to the pit boss who'd been watching us this whole time, and he asked for a comp. And we're playing off the record. And he asked for a comp. And the pit boss said yes. Can you believe that? It was a winning session. And let me get this. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. So after everything that we were doing, and we were making way more than we should be making. Obviously, a normal person would be making. And he asked the pit boss, "Hey, let me have a comp. Give me like whatever." He said 300. We still had a lot of food though, and he said, he has talked to this person before, and they hate casinos because they lose their money, and they don't really care. All they care about is if someone is friendly to them, they want to be friendly back, and that's a big point right there. But I really was shocked, and then there were a few other instances where I'm like, how can you ask me to do that? That's everyone's going to be like, well, obviously this is going on, and not even a whisper, nothing. So I guess if it's something easy, someone comes into their casino and trips some kind of facial recognition, like what's happened to me in the past. Yeah, they appear to be intelligent, but other than things like that, where they have to work, they're a regular employee. They're not going to go out on a limb and accidentally back off a whale or a big player, and then they're going to get in trouble for saying something, doing something, whatever, wasting time, whatever it might be. So all they want to do is keep their head down and do their job. And if they have to do something, then they will. And I've seen it so many times where they come up to you and they're almost afraid of you. And they're like, I have to, I'm sorry, I have to tell you this, but you can't play here or whatever. And it was really eye opening just in the last few days as far as that's concerned. So right now, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to go, hopefully, play some blackjack. Probably going to play some double deck, and whatever happens, happens there. I'm not too concerned about it, and we'll see how things go. But right now, I actually thought of a great idea yesterday because of the difference in time between home and here. Lots of times I have to come back to the hotel to turn off my laptop so that it doesn't show that I'm online all night, with my mouse jiggler and all that. So the idea is my battery on my laptop lasts about 4.5 hours. So you come back to the hotel around 4.5 hours before. If it's going to be longer than that, what you do is you unplug the cord so it only lasts, let's say, 4.5 hours. But if it's going to be longer than that before you need it to die, then you dim the screen. If you want it to be shorter, then you put the brightness up on the screen, and it'll die earlier. So that way you don't have to come back to the room. So anyway, all right, enough talking. We're going to get out there and make some money. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So first stop of the day, first stop of the day, I found nothing, so moved on to another place, and the whole point of it was to play double deck. I got there, I was down on slots right away, like 40, 50 bucks, and a friend of mine called me. I was just about to sit down at the double deck table. He called me up, he said, I'm at this place, and I see this machine, it's at this and this and this, and it's $5 a spin. Do you think I should play it? And I said, yeah, that's a good deal, you should play it. And he was still a little nervous about it, so I said, he suggested actually, would you want to split it? And I said, sure, we can split it. So we did that, and he's like, well, do you want me to videotape it, or what do you want me to do? And I'm like, come on. After everything that we've done, everything we've been through together, just tell me what the result is. So I sit down, and I start playing, and he does his thing. I get a call from my kids, talk to them. It was kind of like a weird back and forth. As soon as I sit down, I bought in for 1,000 at this table, and first like 5 or 6 hands, lose. First hand, dealer blackjack. You hate to start any session at all with first hand dealer blackjack, and then second hand loser, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand loser. And but things calmed down. They turned around slowly, and I ended up actually leaving ahead 1,350, so plus 1,350. Actually had a good conversation with the dealer. I've known her for years, so that was good. And my friend called me, and he's like, we won 540. So I'm like, oh, okay, excellent. He sent me a picture of it, which he didn't need to do, because when you have people that you trust, they're not going to break your confidence by lying to you or stealing from you or something. If they're good people, then you should trust them. And that's why I haven't really gotten on a lot of teams. My biggest thing was not me, somewhat me trusting them, but worrying about me losing and them thinking that I stole it or something. And I've been hesitant to get on a lot of teams like that. But anyway, so that was plus 270 each. And then I played a few slots and ended up ahead 67. So good start here, and moving on to another place right now. I think I may play a little bit of poker. My friend's we're going to get together in a little over an hour, I think, maybe closer to, actually, hold on a second here. What time is it? I guess closer to 2 hours. So, yeah, we're going to get together then. So I may sit down for a little bit if I don't find anything at the next spot, because they have a good poker room. So, all right, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. Well, I think you know by now that obviously I don't do any editing. I mean, I think I've edited out like one word a couple times. So I don't know if I told you already, but I think I did. I played blackjack. I was ahead 1,350, and then slots plus 66. And then we did the split on the slot machine, and that was plus 270. I think I mentioned that already. I just played some poker, won 3 no limit, played for about 45 minutes, kind of bored with the game. It was a good game, but older guys, one guy to my left, nice guy to talk to and everything. I mean, if you have all day, he's a great guy, nice guy, everything, but plays so slow and plays so few hands and stuff. He played 2 hands, pocket kings and ace king. Pocket kings he raised, and ace king he raised, and everybody folded both hands. So there you go. That's when you're that tight. I mean, every once in a while, even if you have like no hands at all, you gotta like play something, call something to. Anyway, had an interesting situation. So everybody was chopping when it got down to the big blind and small blind, and no one else was betting, which is, of course, just taking back your bet. So I'm the big blind, and it's a 1-3 game, and I have pocket aces, and the small blind, has ace 8. And he's like, "You want to chop?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, I had a good hand." And he shows me his ace 8, and I showed him my aces. Next hand, I'm the small blind. I have aces again, we chop again. Have you ever heard of that? Has anyone had that experience where you're the big blind and then the small blind? The only 2 times that I had aces in the last, I don't know, since I've been to Vegas, both my hands that were pocket aces were small blind, big blind, and chopped. So anyway, I'm going to try to grab some food here. I'm going to walk to another place. It's kind of far, but I'll just leave the car where it is right now. We're going to walk to another spot unless my friend calls me and picks me up. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do because I don't want to be stuck in one area. But my car is in a whole different area, so I'll walk over there and get the car. And if he calls me and wants to pick me up, that'll be fine too. Dang it. I was going to get some food, but it's so busy. Why is it so busy? I guess it's Friday. All right, let's head over to the car. It's about a mile and a half. We'll stop through a couple places and play some stuff and go from there. So that's what's going on right now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, it is about 8 hours later at this point. Let me just go over some of the stuff that happened today. I did play, I don't know how much I mentioned. I played Blackjack. I mentioned all this stuff. And then I mentioned the 1-3 no limit. And, okay, so then I played Blackjack again at a major casino. Low limit, 1-10 spread. Did terribly for a long time. Eventually got close to even and left. I had rat-holed some chips, so I wasn't really sure. I thought I was just about even, and it ended up being ahead $13, $12.50. Played slots there, lost 124. Went to another place, played slots, and lost 112. Then we went to another place and found nothing, and then another place, and I made $7 on slots, but I lost my phone. I had put my phone down, and it was a dark-colored phone, and walked away from it and couldn't find it, and looked and could not find it at all. Eventually, I found a security guard, talked to him. He said that, hey, we can go downstairs and look in the lost and found, but I doubt it. Okay, we went down there. He had a computer down there. I said, hey, can we use that computer to log into my Gmail? I have a Gmail that I only use for my phone. I suggest you guys do that if you have an Android. I don't put any of my personal stuff on there. So I had him go to android.com, log in with my Gmail account, and we were able to find which part of the casino the phone was in. And then we walked over there. And from that android.com, we were able to have the phone start ringing. We went back upstairs and walked around the floor and listened for the ring, found the phone ringing, and I was able to log into the phone and everything was fine. So then I just told them just log out of the account. There's nothing on the account other than just, being able to use my phone. So probably my phone numbers would be on there, but I'm not too concerned that the guy who doesn't know I'm an AP is going to do anything. So he said, yeah, I'm going to run down there and log out. Did that, and then we walked around 2 other casinos and found no more plays. So right now we're taking a short break, and then we're going to go for one of the bigger ones tonight that we've been waiting for. And if that doesn't work out, we have a backup plan to go to another casino. So I know it's like a lot of hours have gone by, and we've been to a lot of places. Not a lot of money being made, but we're still up a couple thousand just about for the day, almost. So we'll keep going here. Hopefully, we can make another 1,500 to 2,000 the next couple hours, and I think, depending on what time I get back to the room, I may go play some more blackjack tonight as well. And then my flight is tomorrow night, so running out of time here. My friend is going to be here for another week, so yeah, if we can get some of these possibilities to make money be more regular, then maybe I'll start coming out for a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, and then just cancel my normal travel and just spend more time at home. So I've already talked to my wife about that. She's okay with it. Like, if I came out here for 4 days twice a month, it would stink to be away from home for that long, or maybe for 6 days once a month, whatever, and be able to make what I'm making right now in a month with less driving, less time, more time with the family, all that. I think that would be really cool. So, yeah, that's it for right now. I'll come back and update you. All right, guys. It is now 3 a.m. It's been a long day. A really, really long day. Another day of infinite steps. Lots of walking around. Lots of looking for stuff. Disappointment. Machines being removed. Blackjack being tightened up. Limits being raised. It's been pretty brutal. So after I let you go, we moved on to another casino and had 2 sessions there. One of them plus 196, the other one minus 200. So we broke even. Moved on to a new. Okay, so then from there we went to our target casino, and it was pretty dead in there. There was no opportunity to be made, and actually I didn't put it in my notes, so let me see. Okay, so we ended up playing some table. So tables was plus, oh, I can't say. I'm not mentioning that if it's not blackjack. So, and then we had some slots, and with slots we were slightly negative, like minus 125, but overall had a good visit there. From there, we moved on to another casino that I haven't been to yet during this trip. And the focus was going to be specifically on table games and different types of table games. So one of them being blackjack. So actually, yeah, let's look at each person. All right. Sorry, I'm putting notes in as I'm walking around usually, and sometimes things are hard to understand until you really look at it. So I bought into blackjack table, double deck, spreading from 25 to 150. I may have gone over that just maybe once or twice. I bought in for 300, and it was not going well. I lost it pretty quickly, and a couple things happened. First, I noticed a guy that I had seen the last couple times I'd been in town, and I know for a fact that he's a card counter. But nobody at this place knows because he has such a good story. Um, he just comes across as a nobody who's addicted and says stupid things and doesn't understand the way probability works and things like that. And I think that this place pretty much just ignores them like a lot of the places did with me until there was no other way. They had to admit what was going on. So I saw him, and then I saw another guy, and he was wearing a face mask, like a COVID mask type thing. And then his shirt made me look, and I'm like, wait a minute, I kind of feel like this guy is an AP, And yes, he was scouting out some blackjack. Later on, when we got back to the car, I was talking to my friend, and we both noticed these two guys specifically, and they stuck out like a sore thumb. So I don't know why the casino wouldn't have seen them. So whatever. Um, so there we ended up. I ended up ahead, but only okay. Bought it for three, lost it. Bought it for a second three at a different table because that one was getting busy. Lost it. Bought in for a final 300 and ended up coming back and scoring a plus $24. So it sucks. Um, Plus $24. Slots, we ended up playing a couple big plays um, and ended up losing $300. And then we went to a casino we went to, I believe, this morning maybe, and played some slots and ended the session ahead 500, which is 250 each. So plus another 250. Came back to my hotel. Actually, was dropped off at Caesars, which is where my car has been for a day and a half. So picked up my car, came back here, and messed around with some slots and stuff, and was ahead $26. And then went back and played some other games, and ended up winning a little bit more, and overall ended the session ahead $226. Now, I know that I have not been mentioning a lot of things that I normally do, food and things like that. I'll give you just a quick rundown today, food wise. Um, so, I had, what did I have for breakfast? Anyway, let's think back here. Did we have breakfast today? I feel like I did. I was walking around and it was too busy to get breakfast there. And then I walked to the other place and did not get anything there. Well, it looks like I didn't have any food to eat till about 7 or 8 at night. So there you go. I had some sushi, spicy tuna. I had a chicken bowl with like fried chicken, no bones, just chopped up with the rice and stuff, Asian style. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna rate it. And then, I had a burger and fries, which was really good at one of the casinos. And that's pretty much it as far as eating. Um, let me, okay, let's do the 1776 countdown next. All right, guys, this is the next episode of the 1776 countdown, where I count down the top 1,776 reasons why I love America. And today we're going to be talking about the final two military divisions, and that is the Air Force and Space Force. Air Force became an independent um, military branch on September 18th, 1947, so World War II era. Its primary mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace. I bet you didn't know that. Airspace and cyberspace. The Air Force operates the largest and most advanced military flying fleet um, with over 5,000 aircraft, and air superiority is one of its core missions. Air Force operates our nuclear bombers, and they provide rapid mobility globally uh, to transport troops, equipment, humanitarian aid, whatever is necessary. So they play a very important role. And a lot of the things that we talk about, you have to look at it locally, that actual item, and then look at all the things around it. And it's pretty cool how they work together. And the Air Force Academy is located in Colorado Springs, Colorado, which I knew someone who recently graduated from there. And I actually have worked with the Air Force in the past, not in the Air Force, but with the Air Force on some projects. Um, and the Air Force leads military operations in cyberspace. So the Air Force, of course, has been in every major U.S. conflict, but not before World War II. So World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, and operations against terrorism. So its birthday again is September 18th, 1947, which I guess next year would make it 80 years old. So just a very young branch. And I believe the Air Force uh, was previously part of the Army. So that's worth noting. And then let's talk about Space Force, which was established very recently, December 20th, 2019. And it is under the Air Force, even though it's independent, just like we talked about the Marine Corps, is under the Department of the Navy, even though it's independent, right? So its mission for the Space Force is to secure America's interests in space. So there's a lot of different things that entails. And members of Space Force are called Guardians, which is pretty cool. So Space Force operates military satellites that provide GPS navigation, secure communications, missile warnings, weather data, and intelligence. So that is operated by Space Force. It also monitors thousands of objects that are orbiting the Earth and helps detect potential collisions and threats and things like that in space. Um, Another major thing is, and this is actually live right now, that this is an issue. Space Force operates it helps defend against anti-satellite weapons and other space-based threats. So basically, China wants to take down satellites. Iran recently threatened things like that. So Space Force is responsible for keeping those things safe and up and providing warnings where needed. So that's that. And although it's a very small branch because it's very new, it is one of the most technologically advanced branches as you would expect it to be, being new and everything being, obviously just put into place. So Space Force obviously supports every branch of the military because if you think about it, we talked about it supports military operations through satellites, navigation, communications, targeting, things like that. So that's how it supports the other armed forces. And its motto is translated to always above. So very cool. And love the Air Force, love the Space Force, love all the military branches. And this has been another episode of the 1776 Countdown. All right, guys. So right now it's almost 3:30, so it might be time for me to get some rest, or we'll start up a new episode tomorrow. I don't know when the last time I published is, or if this has been recording for a day or 2 days, or what the heck. But I'll get it out there probably in the morning. You guys will see that. So for now, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.